Welcome to the Talk at 10.
Welcome to the Talk at 10.
And we're home today because we've had actually several patients talk to us about how do we cook the foods we're going to cook and how hard is it. And honestly, it's not hard. And the funny thing is actually Casey makes most of his own food too.
Hi, buddy.
He's home doing his homework. And so we're going to make some salmon.
And we got a doggie at our feet.
Yeah.
Somewhere down here. She's always...
Libby's dark and in a dark place.
Yeah.
Libby's in a dark place.
There she is. Libby's always at Mama's feet.
And so we're going to make some salmon. I have the oven warming up to 450. We're going to make a hollandaise sauce with that. And we're pretty much going to do it, from scratch. The salmon's not as pink as the salmon we looked at the market because, sometimes you just do the best you can, and it is wild caught.
Nobody had any fresh wild caught, so we had to go with frozen.
Yes, so frozen is the next best thing. And we're gonna dress that with some asparagus. We're making some taro root mashed potatoes.
Taro root is wonderful, but we learned nuggets this morning. Taro root is toxic if you eat it raw. Do not eat it raw.
So we have taken this, and I cut this up in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
It takes about 5 minutes prep.
We peeled it with a peeler. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hairy looking. And we found a little lady in at Kroger's last year.
That did not speak English.
Did not.
But had a translator.
Yep, and she told us she was very unhappy with our selection of taro root. So she proceeded to talk through her granddaughter to tell us how to get the best taro and the freshest taro, and there's a little root.
So you see this area right here. You really want this to be like a pink or a purple. And so these are basically like most grocery store things, and this is why we talk about going to the farmer's market. They have to pick this early so that it doesn't spoil as fast.
Hello, Teresa.
So the nutrition in this is not as much as it could be. It's still better than if you took a mashed potato. There in a cup of taro root, there's 6 grams of fiber, which is more than if you get in a cup of mashed potatoes. And what were the other things? High in
vitamin C, vitamin B, and vitamin E. And they're also toxic if you eat them raw because of the calcium oxalate. So do not eat them raw.
So you just take your normal peeler and you just peel it. When you get the first round done, that's when it gets fun because they are a little slick. I mean, if you've ever peeled potatoes this way,
hi, Kelly.
It's that way. So
we're gonna have fun in the kitchen today.
But this is taro root. If you've ever used an Instapot, since we're using the Instapot to make the mashed potatoes, quote unquote, the thing we're looking at is I'm going to do a little trick to the garlic. And so one of the things that I try to do is maximize nutrition in any way, shape, or form I know how. And remember, I'm not a professional chef. I'm just a self-taught home cook that listens to lots of people.
Yeah, we just have a lot of fun. You can also slice these and fry them like fried potatoes. Put some garlic on there and butter and green onions. It's so delicious.
So it takes about 5 minutes for the Instapot to actually warm up. And in that time, you want to cut your garlic.
Tammy.
You want to cut your garlic, and when you cut your garlic early, you want to let it rest. And you want to let it rest for about 10 minutes. And the reason why you want it to rest is because that helps bring up the antioxidant content in the garlic. Garlic is living until you cook it and kill it, basically. So this is, there goes the black truffle oil.
We love this cutting board. It was a wedding gift, but we've used it so much that it's warped a little bit. But we still keep using it.
And you can't take these knives and do them on a hard surface because they'll break. I think I'm going to look for some.
These ones are ceramic.
I'm going to look for some different knives. But once again, let it set for about 10 minutes, and that brings out more antioxidant content in the garlic, and that's what you want the garlic for, because that's the anti-cancer causing, that's the antioxidant, blah blah blah, all the stuff is in that, and that's why you let it rest for about 10 minutes. So while I am letting that might be a little too much garlic for the taro root, we'll find out. Everyone's an experiment. And so we have chicken bone broth that we're using. I didn't have time to make my own bone broth.
And that's the only bone broth we could find that was at least organic.
And in the Instapot, you know, so that it doesn't burn the bottom, you put in about an inch of fluids, and that way it doesn't stick. I got my rack in there, and by the time this actually starts to really cook, the garlic will have aged inside there. So I'm going to put the pressure on high, and we are going to go for 5 minutes, because it really doesn't take the Instapot long to prep these. Why can I not get the on? It's on. And let me think about this. Let's go meat stew. Pressure level high. And we are going to go down to 5 minutes. It's off, and now this will start going. It takes that a while. Next, I'm going to start to get the butter going.
Can everybody hear us okay? Because I know we had problems last week.
We're going to need about a teaspoon of lemon juice for the hollandaise sauce. And I'm going to put some little slices of lemon like this in with the
Awesome. Thanks, Teresa.
salmon. And 5 years ago, when I was doing paleo and pure keto, I would have said, oh my God, you're using fruit, the carbs and everything else like that's going to, you know, destroy the health benefits.
Good morning, Dewey.
It's kind of like getting your house ready for a party. You typically go into your house and you clean your house up and you kind of have to be healthy enough.
I'm gonna come over here. I'm in the sunlight.
You kind of have to be healthy enough to eat a lot of different fruits, because you need to have the metabolic flexibility to burn both carbs or fats. And so when I'm adding fructose to like salmon and stuff, there's fiber there. There's a big difference between drinking liquid fructose, which has been pulled out of the fruit. There's no fiber to slow absorption, and fruit in its natural form. And so fruit in its natural form with fiber, it's slowly released into the system. And typically when you have fruit juice comes with sucrose usually mixed in it also. That's
Morning,
bad
Catherine.
because that stimulates insulin. So when you have fructose and sucrose and insulin in the milieu, in the mix inside you, that causes bad problems. Because what that does to you is that causes insulin to start to be
Good
inside
morning, Miss Tina.
there, and you will actually take
I'll have
your
Trevor bring you
fats
some lunch.
and you will start to oxidize them. And you don't want to oxidize the fats with sucrose, sugar, and insulin, because that's when you start to grow cancer and do bad things in your body. That's why soft drinks and that stuff are I haven't looked up the research, but I'm going to be pretty sure that there's going to be a direct link between cancers and soft drinks. Once again, not a study that I've read, but just from the biology of it, I would say, yeah. And we don't drink soft drinks, so. I'm going to take a little dill. I'm going to sprinkle that on the salmon. Spices and herbs. Those are one of the most nutrient-dense foods. You can always, always, always add that to your meals, and it's not going to cause problems. The butter is ready, so we'll get that all going for the hollandaise sauce. And I'm going to chop off just the very ends of the asparagus. So why do you take just the very ends off of the asparagus?
See, I don't do this. I take each one and I snap it, and wherever it snaps, I'm told is the best place to have snapped it.
Well, the reason why you want stuff like asparagus and root and fibrous types of vegetables is so you get the fiber. The fiber is what feeds the gut bugs. So this is what helps you be healthy. And we're cooking the salmon at 450 degrees for several minutes. And since we're going to do that, I'm not going to use olive oil.
We got lots of olive oil. Lots of balsamics.
Because if I use olive oil, the thing that I am going to find out is I'm going to oxidize it, because olive oil in its normal form is only good to about 300 to 350 degrees. I do want to do all of that.
I do have avocado oil. I bought some last night.
You know what I might do though is, do we know where the lemon dill balsamic is? Grilled lemon. So here's a little grilled lemon balsamic vinegar. And all I'm going to do is take that and just a little dash on there. A little dash on there. Little sea salt.
That's pink salt. Tell them why we like pink salt.
Because that has the minerals. It's not been highly processed. They don't add iodine in a crappy form of iodine to it. Where's the butter bell? Here it is. They don't add the crappy stuff to it. And they don't do bad things to it.
Tell them why they need a butter bell. Everybody needs a butter bell in their life.
Well, you tell them that one.
Oh, that's
you're
my
the one
favorite.
who introduced me to that.
Actually, Buddy bought me a butter bell. I guess in other countries they leave their butter sitting on the table. We set our butter on the table, and we just leave it on a table. But the butter bell actually is a little bell. I'll come here and show you. The red one is missing, so we had to go find the black one. So it's a butter. It's just a little crock, and you fill it up with water, about half full, quarter full, and then the butter actually sets inside of a bell, and then you set it in there, and then that water comes up around the bell and seals your butter from bacteria. So your butter can stay literally on your counter for probably 3 to 6 months.
I'll heat that up just a little more.
We will be your personal chef, Miss Tina. You're going to get a plate for lunch.
I'm going to close this just a little bit, because when you cook it, they say cook it for 10 to 15 minutes. But what you really want to do is just cook it till you start to see the fat coming out. And that's the little white globules. And in that 450, it'll take about 10 to 15 minutes. But if you're doing this on the grill, any of that stuff, at about 10 minutes, you want to start checking it. And you just want to let the fat come to the top. So now, and that should, with the butter, just give us enough of a mix to soften the asparagus, and hopefully it's poppy and crunchy, because otherwise Casey doesn't like to eat it.
like our vegetables overcooked.
We don't like to waste stuff either, so Libby is getting some egg whites. Hollandaise sauce, super simple. A little, they like white cayenne. I'm going to use a chili powder, just a dash of that. I'm actually add a little cumin to it. The black truffle oil is going to be sprinkled over both the salmon and in the hollandaise sauce. And since we are having fish, we're going to go with dill. And I will also put dill in the Instant Pot.
Yep. Libby heard the eggs cracking.
I was going to say, as soon as she hears that, she's probably going to be
licking her
like,
lips.
am I getting some?
Oh, that's Libby's bowl. She's not sure if she wants to leave my feet.
And we are using Grandma's eggs, which came from Grandma's backyard chickens, which get to run all over the place. I also think these might be part of Raji's eggs. But we are also getting ready to, not yet, we got to finish the bathroom and the bedroom.
Yeah,
And
we've had
then-
a broken water pipe, so we have a gutted bathroom right now.
And then, then I get to go out and gonna make a chicken coop.
Don't worry, we're getting a couple extra chickens for you, girl.
And hopefully Libby's retriever instincts don't kick in and she chases the chickens everywhere. That last
Good morning,
egg was a little
Heather.
small. I'm gonna add one more egg to that. And so, as we talk about the eggs, there are lots of great amino acids in the yolk of the egg that are very good for the brain.
That's my cheese balls up there, because I was on an 84-hour fast, and I just couldn't help myself. I needed a cheese ball this morning.
She finished it this morning, and out came the cheese ball and the...
Four
Parmesan
Parmesan
crisps.
crisps in, I was done. Good morning, Kathy.
Oh, Miss Libby. You ready?
Nope, she's gonna stay here with Mom. Maybe. Nope. And she's out.
So, egg yolks go on in the blender. Uh-oh, I always do this to this blender. There. And about 3 teaspoons of lemon juice.
Oh, thanks, Teresa. We actually gutted our house from a little water leak, and then went on the epic 2-week road trip out west, and we left it like that. So my son had to stay here with washing his dishes in the bathtub. But we literally gutted this in May, and then we bought naked cabinets, and then I lived with them like that, and so we redid the whole kitchen. So we did all of that, and we appreciate your comment. Thank you. We're really proud of it. So now we get to have a little more fun. And we gutted our bathroom, our master bathroom. So we got our master bathroom gutted, and then we'll move into our master bedroom.
So the black truffle olive oil went into the blender, and because we're not putting any heat to it, you can use that. Heat, acids, those types of things
So you can
oxidize
see.
fats.
This is fun. So tell them again what you put in there.
So I had 3 egg yolks, 4 because I had 2 small egg yolks. A dash of the chili powder, a dash of cumin because I love cumin, and dill because this is going to go on fish. Dash of pink salt for the minerals, and the black truffle oil, high polyphenols, all kinds of things to feed the good butt gugs, the good gut bugs. Dyslexia strikes again. And it's just fabulous
We
for
hope
the
so,
body.
Teresa.
What's
I'm
that?
learning patience. She says she thinks the other rooms will be just as beautiful. We're still working on it. We just do a little bit at a time. We literally gutted the entire main living area. You can also make mayonnaise like this. It's, what do you put in the mayonnaise, babe?
1 stick of butter here.
That's for hollandaise. I think the mayonnaise is just egg whites and oil. It's delicious and it doesn't
The
take very
mayonnaise
long.
is, the paleo mayonnaise, we actually have a video on the YouTube site, but it's a 30-second egg, shot of lemon, cup of oil, emulsion blender, put it at the bottom, hit it, wait just a second, pull up, and you have mayonnaise.
Yeah, you have to make your own mayonnaise. Once you make it, you'll never go back to store.
Taste that. What do you think? Eat anything? And this is the fun part about cooking. You get to make it taste the way you want it to taste. Yes, no, maybe so.
Did you put lemon in there?
Yeah. Does it need more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Madison.
I have her taste it because I'm not the picky one.
Yeah, that's good. There's nothing wrong with being picky.
I didn't say there was. I just
No,
said
I know.
I'm not the picky one.
You're good to me. You always make sure you do it just right.
They laugh at me because I could. If you told me it was good for me and you could prove it, I would eat it no matter what it was.
Yeah. I can't.
And
He sneaks in all the stuff I should be doing
that I do.
in my coffee.
Her coffee is not coffee.
It took me a bit to figure it out, but
She's like, why is there sand in the bottom of my coffee? I don't know. I wouldn't do that. That'd be a lie. But like, yeah, your fiber's going in there. Ew,
I'm
you
like,
put
did you
fiber
put something in my coffee? Yeah. Yes, I did.
So when we talk about the high polyphenol, I'll probably also put a splash of that on the salmon after the salmon comes out.
If you guys get a chance, you've got to go down to the Garlina Garlic Factory. We went down there for date night. Well, date night started on Friday and rolled into Saturday because they closed early. But they have the best garlic oils and olive oils, not garlic oils, olive oils and vinegars. They now have teas and they have spices. I think we put a little video up, a tour of the store. But
That was part of the
Great
promo for
place.
this video.
super
So-
fun. Madison's super fun too, so you can go pick, walk around. They have a great coffee shop across the street.
Ooh, Libby licked the bowl clean. So, yes, I throw away my scraps. I should compost. My composter got broke. So we're going to get another one because we're trying to do a garden in the regenerative garden fashion.
And we did do our compost all last year, so we have some started.
Yep. I'm going to add a little more salad to our salad that was left over. Don't tell Gracie I'm stealing some of her carrots. The the scissors are missing. Found them.
I was gonna say they should be there.
But some people say, you know, eat carrots. Some people say don't eat carrots. There's a lot of fiber in carrots. There's a lot of vitamin A in carrots. They're pretty good for you. People say don't eat bananas. And actually, you can take those kind of green bananas and put them in a smoothie, and they act as a prebiotic fiber.
Green bananas are the best for you. They don't have as much sugar
When they're green.
when they're green, yes. That light is so bright behind your head.
I don't need it. Had it on. Watch me cut my finger off now. If you get a chewy bit, that's the end of my finger. I can't wait to go pull the greens out of the garden.
Well, we had a beautiful garden. It started out beautiful.
And we left for
We-
San Francisco.
Yeah, we left and it rained for 2 weeks. And when we came back, we had
A jungle.
jungle and a swamp. And I think the only things that really made it were tomatoes, and cucumbers. We got lots of cucumbers.
We got lots of jalapenos.
Oh yeah, and we had a couple cantaloupes or watermelons.
Just added some blueberries to the salad. I mean, literally just going through, and it's a hodgepodge, people. I mean, you're not gonna sit here and make the perfect meal every time. It's not about that. It's about, you know what, just make something pretty good, feed the fiber in your body, and that's it. And you just be happy, satisfied, and move on. It's like nobody has the perfect truck, car.
I'm just sitting over here.
Nobody has the perfect.
Show them what you're doing. What are you doing now?
No, I'm just gonna add some onions.
Actually, I think maybe you should just pull the shade and turn back on your light. I don't think it was the light. I think it was the actual sun.
Jessica likes her plants. I try not to kill them.
Yeah, that little orchid has been with me for about 6 years.
He's gonna go right here before I kill him.
Now you can turn your light back on. It's okay. I just wanted him to be able to see this. There you go.
We're not professionals at this.
Yeah, we're not. We just have a lot of fun. We just thought we'd bring you along. Somebody had never cooked salmon last week.
Speaking of which, look in there and see if the fat is coming up. Not yet. I'll get my phone out on the next go around and we'll shine it in there. So, onions, garlic, all that kind of stuff have lots of sulforaphane. Well, that's in broccoli and broccoli sprouts. Lots of compounds in there, it escapes me right now, that kill bad cells. They help with cellular apoptosis. They go through and cause you to stimulate autophagy. I was listening to the guy from Quicksilver Scientific last night, and they were going through for longevity, and not longevity just to live a long time, but longevity to live and perform.
Uh-oh, I got rid of the comments. Where'd my peoples go?
You're a bad, bad person.
Yeah, yes I am. Just trying to video properly and my finger touched the screen, so how do I get them back?
I don't know. I could not tell you, other than, let's see, let's go here. Nope, that's to write a comment. You got me. Anyway,
Sorry guys, I can't see your comments anymore. You know how to get them back, buddy?
oh, now we're starting to see it. So you see that white on there? It's just starting to come up. Nope, that's not.
I think I just flipped your camera. Yep.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, put that back up there. I think maybe if we touch that, maybe. What's that? No. Never mind.
Can you see down here? Oh, Libby's
Yeah.
going to chase the light. You see how we're starting to see the white on the fish? That fish is about done. Actually, it probably is done, but I'm going to give it a couple more seconds for the asparagus. And if you want to drive Libby nuts, if you ever meet Libby, all you got to do is shine a light on the ground and the dog goes berserk. She'll start barking at the ceiling. All right. So I'm going to take the pressure off of the Instant Pot. Everything's starting to come together. I'm going to turn off the salmon. Going to throw some chives and dill into the Instant Pot along with some butter. Do you want me to, Jessica, do you want me to do it with the immersion blender so it's smooth and silky, or do you want me just to do it with a fork so that it's kind of lumpy and bumpy?
How do you want, buddy?
The potatoes, the
potatoes.
taro root, do you want it smooth and silky or lumpy and bumpy?
It doesn't matter, I don't think.
Okay.
These are your preferences.
Do I look like I'm particular?
Well, you're making it, so I figured you'd take the path of least resistance.
Typically, we have music playing too while we're doing all of this, but I'm pretty sure there would be some serious rights violations if I did that. And this video would be banned. And then the only people that would ever get to enjoy it would be the people on right now. All right. Greasy pot holders that she made. So you can see the fat, you can hear it. We're going to let it rest for a second. Oh, hey. This is
Bread.
not bread. This is almond bread. There's no flour in that, no wheat flour in that. There's almond flour in that. And I'm just waiting. That's got to come down, and then I will pull the rack out of the middle of that, throw the butter in there, and I will then let the emulsion blender do its job.
So we were supposed to talk about hormones today.
Okay, so, well, fat, you can't talk about fats and not be talking about hormones, because your hormones are made from fats, cholesterol, that kind of stuff. And that's why you want good fats. You want to spend the money on really high quality fats, because once again, when we start to talk about quality, you know, would you rather have a Aston Martin or pull some vehicle out of an old Yugo out of the junkyard? You know,
Well, if you ask Buddy, he wants the old Yugo.
I really don't even think Casey would want the old Yugo.
Maybe for an LS swap.
I'm pretty sure that a Yugo couldn't handle an LS swap. You twist the frame in half. But the hormones, that's why you also got to have a clean liver. You know, you don't want to be eating a lot of artificial things. You don't want a lot of sugar. You don't want to make the liver work as a filter. You want to make the liver work as a producer of energy, a producer of hormones, that type of stuff, because that's what makes you run better and more efficiently. In health, there's really no plateau. You're either building stuff up or you're tearing it down. There really isn't an in-between. And that's why when you wait until you're 40 to start paying attention to your health, you're going to spend several years cleaning up the house so that I'm now healthy enough to eat an apple. It doesn't spike my blood sugar. I'm now healthy enough that I can eat bananas and they don't spike my blood sugar.
Oh, there, I found the comment.
And so that's that cleanup that I talk about. And, you know, this is going to actually be a very tasty, fabulous meal, I hope.
Oh, it is. They always love it. The kids eat this up.
Yeah, not everything, but
No,
yeah,
and salmon
most
is really
things.
good for you because omega-3s. You need your omega-3s, and tell them about omega-3s. I mean, you've told most of them before, but omega-3s is really good for your heart.
So if you go on to, I can't remember the name of it. I got my omega-3s back. I'm at an 11.2.
Which is
So-
amazing for the American.
So when you're an 11.2, you still haven't crossed the line to where you're at with the Japanese and stuff like that, who just exist on fish. But my chances of having a cerebral vascular accident, whether it be the heart, whether it be the brain, my chances of having erectile dysfunction, my chances of having hormones not work, my chances of growing man boobs goes way down, because I'm not going to become estrogen dominant, because I'm not oxidizing the fats as they go in. I'm making good fats, and I know that my fat lipid profile looks good too, and that's why you do an omega-3 index test, and you also do a NMR and an NMR. So your lipids, triglycerides, HDLs, like I said in the last talk at 10, that's a 1950s test. It is literally a 1950s test. It's like a 1950s car. It's really cool, but do you really want it? No. Typically, you take the really car cool and you put in a bigger engine, you swap it out, you change the transmission, you put new brakes on it, you make it more safe. You make it a little more updated. And why do you do that? Because it is more safe and it is more updated. I mean, Casey, you just updated the brakes on your 1980 whatever truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why do you do that?
Because the old ones didn't work.
Yeah. And so the 1950s Chevy will work and will do great, but if you can put more updated stuff and amenities and have more to, you know, a newer tack, a newer readout, a newer whatever else, it's just more convenient, it's more fun, and you get more information so you don't injure the car too. Sprinkling some chives in here, the butter, a little more dill.
Can't go wrong with butter. Just make sure it's good butter.
Yep. Butter, dill, and we'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna make noise.
If you guys have any questions, you just type them out here. We're kind of informal. We just answer, or I just type up. Anyway, thanks for coming. These taro root, you can mash them. We've had them as fries. We've had them sliced for fried potato. You can take and shred them for hash browns. And our 9-year-old didn't know she wasn't eating potatoes. They're
Well,
pretty
you
good.
also can't tell the 9-year-old that she's not eating potatoes because she's 9 years old.
Well, yeah. She loves to argue.
You know what's ooh? Is we think that it's normal and natural to eat 60% of your diet in 3 crops: corn, soy, and wheat. Our ancestors, not even that long ago, some of our centurions would have eaten almost 80 different species of plants. And 60% of our diet is in 3 crops. Everything that is, it seems that health is in diversity. And the more diverse that things are, it seems the more resilient they are. The more diverse your microbiome, the healthier you are. And guess what? Where do your hormones come from? Your gut bugs help produce those. Your hormones, neurotransmitters and the such, come from 90%, depending on what you eat, 70 to 90%, come from the gut. And if you don't have the good species and the species diversity, guess what? You don't make good hormones. Guess where your thyroid hormone comes from? Guess where your neurotransmitters, your adrenaline, all of that stuff has to be made in here.
And you gotta feed them
Yep.
with good fiber.
Yeah, they don't care about sugar. As a matter of fact, they don't care about sugar, but the bad guys do care about sugar, and the bad guys will thrive on sugar.
And then they kill out the good guys.
Yep, and that's when you get the bacterial overgrowth. So if you're eating food and you get stuffed and bloated and this, that, and the other, you know, all the bad feelings associated with eating food, most likely you have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Or if you go to the if you eat and immediately run to the bathroom, you have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. You've probably got SIBO also, and you need to go tend your garden because you've got some weeds.
And you got to weed it before you feed it so that you can seed it.
Yep. Weed, feed, and seed. Thank you, Dr. Hyman. Official taste tester. Come on over and
Who's
taste.
also the camera
Tell
girl.
me if the taters need anything. Oh, hey. Saved it so far.
Will you hold this for just a minute, buddy?
Casey, I hope you're hungry.
Well, I was.
Salt, garlic, truffle oil.
Salt. Yeah, salt.
Here. I'll reach over you. Dash of garlic salt there. So, we started this at 10 o'clock. We are at 15 minutes till 11. We have a meal that should not harm us in any way, shape, or form if you're healthy enough, because there could be some oxalates in the spinach that's in the bowl. Yes? So, you know, this is ready to go. And we did it in roughly 45 minutes. How many different ways do you want to measure this?
Here, let's look at this stuff. So tell them about like what you're talking about, like the fat. I know what you're talking about, but most people don't, because I didn't until you showed me. That's great. So that white stuff there, those bubbles,
Right here.
that's the fat.
And we just let that start to come out. Wow, that turned out well.
And the vegetables are nice and green
Just
and
popping.
crunchy. And I'll show you this taro root over here. It actually has the same consistency. You would not know that you weren't eating a potato. You really wouldn't.
I think it's a little smoother than potatoes.
Creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't throw a lot of milk in there. That was just butter.
No, nobody here can drink milk except Trevor.
And I don't drink it.
And well, Buddy's not supposed to, but he loves the organic pasture-raised milk now. It doesn't tend to hurt his stomach as bad. And we usually have all kinds of milks in the refrigerator, but they're almond, coconut.
Little piece, big piece, babe.
Well, I would say earlier a big piece, but now just a very small piece.
Oh, duh. Hold on.
You want your taro?
It's about the presentation.
It is about the presentation. The only thing that can make this any better is bacon.
Which we could have put in the taro root.
Oh yeah, or you could have just sprinkled it on top. Never go wrong with butter or bacon,
Will you hand me a large spoon, please, babe?
because I'm a really simple girl.
We've got to get the poles put on the drawers. I'll get to it. I will.
We got a lot of stuff going on. We did get the trim up. Looks pretty good.
I am not a
We
finished
started
carpenter.
in May, February. We're still not quite, nothing's painted yet. Well, the walls are, but the trim's not. We're just busy.
Well, we've been trying to get quotes for the painting, but man, for some reason it's the price of a small used car. And
Well, that's just for trim. Actually, no, that was just for the ceilings. I mean, I can do the rest, but I don't want to do the ceilings.
I mean, it's not a mansion, it's not small. How many square feet is this?
Just right under 1,700. Just big enough to be cozy.
So remember, cup of the taro, 5 grams of fiber. Fiber feeds the gut bug. There's fiber in the asparagus. The fish have the great omega-3 fatty acids.
I don't think Buddy likes the hollandaise sauce, but he
Not
might.
huge fan.
You do?
No,
Yeah,
he's not
I
a
didn't-
huge fan.
Yeah, I didn't think he was.
Which,
And you actually could make this for breakfast and make taro root into like hash browns or fried potatoes, and then set your salmon on top of that with some hollandaise sauce and a poached egg, and that would be fabulous, along with a couple of asparagus. Who made that for us? Hanger. The Hanger makes great breakfast. If you ever
Mhm.
want to go anywhere fun, watch
Well,
the
we had-
airplanes come in.
down in Cozumel, on home, made the,
Lobster.
lobster benedict.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I don't know where the split was for that, but I want more. I'm coming off of a 40-hour fast, roughly. Probably a little too heavy to break a fast with, but I'll live. can see that nice, rich color. Spoon.
And the store-bought eggs would not make colors like that. Our pasture-raised eggs, there's Buddy, are so orange and big and heavy. They're just so fabulous. So if you can find a farmer that lets his girls pasture and eat bugs, you can get some fabulous eggs.
You want some hollandaise on your asparagus?
Just a little.
And we didn't heat up the eggs in the blender. So all the amino acids that are in the eggs, the DHA that's in the eggs, that should all still be there. And with that, we have 10 minutes until 11, and we're going to say our prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord, amen. Thank you for joining us. Please, God, watch over everybody. Give us good choices, or help us make better choices. It would be nice if our food system wasn't based on money and financial gain to the point that they just want to kick out food stuff. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen.
Let us know if you were here. Say hey. We're going to send out another prize
Probably
this
throw
week.
out a shirt.
Yeah, we'll send you a shirt. Say hello. If you have any questions, put it in the comments, and we will get back with you. We appreciate you following us. We appreciate you coming, and we'll see you next week.
Au revoir. All right. Thank you for taking this time to look into the health of you and your loved ones. This broadcast does not constitute a doctor-patient relationship. It is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not a replacement or substitute for care. If you are having issues, please seek a qualified professional trained in functional medicine. We would be happy to be of assistance with both in-person and virtual consultations. Thank you.